Every year, the world consumes over 5 million tons of chocolate, from candy bars and truffles to desserts and drinks, but few people ever stop to think about the incredible global journey that turns a tropical fruit into one of the most beloved foods on Earth. This is the story of how chocolate is made, from cocoa farms deep in the equatorial belt to the advanced factories that refine, roast, and mold it into the smooth, rich bars we know today. It all begins with the cacao tree, scientifically known as Theobroma cacao, which literally means food of the gods. These trees thrive only in hot, humid climates within 20 degrees of the equator, primarily in West Africa, Central and South America, and parts of Southeast Asia. Each cacao tree grows colorful pods directly from its trunk and branches, and inside each pod are 30 to 50 cocoa beans surrounded by a sweet white pulp. Farmers carefully harvest the ripe pods by hand, using machetes to avoid damaging the tree, and gather them into piles for the first crucial step of chocolate making. Fermentation. Once opened, the beans and their sticky pulp are placed into wooden boxes or heaped under banana leaves, where they naturally ferment for 5 to 7 days. During this time, yeasts and bacteria break down the sugary pulp, generating heat and triggering complex chemical reactions that create the precursors of chocolate's signature flavor and aroma. The beans change color from pale white to deep brown, and the strong, bitter taste of raw cocoa begins to mellow into something richer and more complex. After fermentation, the beans are spread out in the sun to dry, another vital stage that can take up to a week. Farmers rake the beans several times a day to ensure even drying, preventing mold and locking in the flavor developed during fermentation. Once dry, the beans are bagged and shipped to chocolate factories around the world, often traveling thousands of miles by truck, ship, and train before arriving at their next destination. The global cocoa supply chain is a marvel of logistics. From remote farms in Ghana and Ivory Coast to massive ports in Rotterdam and Singapore, millions of sacks of cocoa beans move continuously around the world. Each shipment is inspected, graded, and tracked to ensure quality and traceability. Large chocolate manufacturers often blend beans from multiple origins to achieve consistent flavor, while smaller bean-to-bar producers might focus on a single estate or region to highlight unique taste notes. The difference in origin can mean everything. West African beans are known for strong, earthy tones, while Latin American varieties tend to be fruitier and more aromatic. These subtle differences form the foundation for the complex flavor profiles that expert chocolatiers build upon in the factory. Inside the factory, the beans undergo a meticulous series of processes that transform them from a raw agricultural product into silky, finished chocolate. The first step is cleaning, removing dust, stones, and debris gathered during transport. Next comes roasting, one of the most important stages for developing flavor. Depending on the type of chocolate desired, beans may be roasted anywhere from 10 to 40 minutes at temperatures between 120 and 150 degrees Celsius. During roasting, the beans' shells become brittle, and the inner nib, the edible core, takes on that familiar deep brown color and rich aroma. After cooling, the roasted beans are cracked open, and powerful winnowing machines separate the light, papery shells from the heavier nibs. These nibs are pure cocoa and contain roughly 50% cocoa butter, the natural fat that gives chocolate its creamy texture. When ground under heavy rollers, the nibs become a thick liquid paste known as cocoa liquor, or cocoa mass. Despite the name, there's no alcohol here, just pure, concentrated chocolate in its most raw form. From this stage, the cocoa liquor can be further processed into two main ingredients: cocoa powder and cocoa butter. A hydraulic press squeezes the liquor, separating the golden cocoa butter from the dark, crumbly solids that will later become cocoa powder. Factories use these components in different proportions to make various types of chocolate. For example, dark chocolate combines cocoa liquor, cocoa butter, and sugar, while milk chocolate adds powdered milk or condensed milk for a sweeter, creamier result. White chocolate, on the other hand, contains cocoa butter, sugar, and milk solids, but no cocoa solids at all, which is why it's pale and lacks the characteristic cocoa flavor. Once the ingredients are measured, they're mixed in large industrial mixers that blend sugar, milk, and cocoa liquor into a thick, gritty paste. This mixture then moves to massive refining machines. Long steel rollers that crush and grind the particles until they're smaller than 30 microns, giving chocolate its ultra-smooth mouthfeel. After refining, the mixture enters the conching process. Named after the shell-shaped machines invented by Rodolphe Lindt in the late 1800s, Conching is where chocolate gains its final texture and complex flavor. Giant rotating drums stir, aerate, and heat the chocolate for hours, sometimes even days, evaporating unwanted acids and moisture while allowing fats to coat every tiny particle evenly. During conching, chocolate changes from a thick paste to a velvety, flowing liquid. The longer it's conched, the smoother and more balanced the flavor becomes. Some premium dark chocolates are conched for more than 72 hours to achieve exceptional refinement. Once the desired smoothness and aroma are achieved, the chocolate is tempered. A precise heating and cooling process that aligns cocoa butter crystals into a stable form. Tempering gives chocolate its glossy finish, satisfying snap, and resistance to melting at room temperature. If you've ever seen dull or streaky chocolate, it means the tempering wasn't done properly. In modern factories, tempering is automated with machines that carefully control temperature to within fractions of a degree, ensuring perfect results every time. Next comes molding and packaging. The tempered chocolate is poured into molds for bars or shapes, then vibrated to remove air bubbles and ensure a uniform surface. The molds pass through cooling tunnels that solidify the chocolate in minutes, after which the bars are popped out, wrapped in foil or film, and boxed for shipment. But not all chocolate stops there. Many factories produce fillings, coatings, chips, and specialized ingredients for bakeries and candy makers. Some even incorporate inclusions like nuts, caramel, or fruit pieces at the final stage before molding. From bean to bar, the entire process can involve dozens of steps and take weeks to complete, but the result is one of the world's most universally loved treats. Yet behind this delicious indulgence lies a complex web of labor, technology, and global trade. West Africa alone, mainly Ivory Coast and Ghana, produces more than 60% of the world's cocoa. Supporting millions of smallholder farmers who depend on the crop for their livelihoods, major chocolate companies have invested in sustainability programs to improve farming practices, reduce deforestation, and combat child labor. While scientists are developing new cacao varieties that resist disease and thrive in changing climates. In recent years, the chocolate industry has also seen innovation in every stage of production. Automated harvesters, solar-powered dryers, and digital traceability tools are helping farmers improve yields and transparency. In factories, robotics and AI are streamlining sorting, roasting, and packaging, ensuring consistent quality while reducing waste. Even the final products are evolving, from vegan and sugar-free options to bean-to-bar artisanal chocolates that emphasize single-origin flavor profiles and ethical sourcing. Some modern factories are now experimenting with circular production systems that reuse heat energy and recycle packaging, making chocolate production more sustainable than ever before. Scientists are even exploring ways to use alternative sweeteners and plant-based milks to reduce sugar and dairy dependency, all while maintaining that rich, creamy texture consumers love. Beyond the production line, there's an entire culture around chocolate that connects science, art, and emotion. Expert chocolatiers treat it like a fine wine, studying flavor profiles, experimenting with textures, and pairing it with spices, fruits, or even savory ingredients. In tasting labs, specialists analyze aroma compounds and mouthfeel under controlled lighting and temperature, ensuring that every batch meets the company's signature flavor standards. From small artisanal makers who hand-pour every bar to mega factories producing millions of chocolates a day, every piece begins with the same humble bean, fermented under tropical skies and transformed through precision engineering. The journey from cocoa pod to finished chocolate bar combines centuries of tradition with state-of-the-art technology, bridging continents and cultures in a shared love for sweetness. Every bite of chocolate today carries a story that spans the globe. From the rainforest where cacao trees bloom, to bustling ports where beans are shipped, to robotic arms pouring molten chocolate into molds that harden into perfection. The process is a symphony of biology, chemistry, engineering, and passion. Proof that even something as simple as a snack can represent an extraordinary intersection of nature and human ingenuity. And as you unwrap your next chocolate bar, it's worth remembering that what feels like a simple pleasure is actually the result of thousands of years of cultivation, centuries of experimentation, and an unbroken chain of hand